We begin this morning with developing news out of China, where a court has rejected the appeal of a death sentence ruling issued to a Canadian. Robert Schellenberg, seen here in file footage, was sentenced to 15 years in prison in 2018 on drug smuggling charges. That sentence was increased only 2 months later, in mid-January of 2019, just weeks after the detention of Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou. Let's go straight to Ottawa. CTV's Michelle Boyer has more for us. Michelle, what are we hearing from the Canadian government about Robert Schellenberg's verdict?
Marcia, good morning to you. Yes, we're hearing a lot from the Canadian government. We're also hearing from Canadian allies. So far, we've heard from the United Kingdom, who put out a tweet about the Schellenberg verdict. Now, I can tell you that we've also heard from Dominic Barton. He is Canada's ambassador in China. We've also heard from Foreign Affairs Minister Marc Garneau, and I've also heard from the Conservatives, and Aaron O'Toole will be speaking about this verdict a little later this morning. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you. But right now, Canada is calling for clemency, but is also saying that the Schellenberg verdict is arbitrary. And as you pointed out, he was accused of smuggling drugs, more than 400 pounds of meth. This is what the accusation was. And that sentence went from 15 years to a life sentence, or a death sentence, I should say, after the arrest of Meng Wanzhou. So again, looping that back to why Canada is saying that this detention is arbitrary. Now there is a mandatory review of this verdict. It's going to China's Supreme Court. That process, we are told, takes 6 to 12 months. Now, again, as I mentioned, we have heard from Dominic Barton. After this verdict was read, take a look at this.
We've expressed our firm opposition to this cruel and unusual punishment, and we've expressed that, and we will continue to express that to the Chinese authorities. And we have a view on all of the death penalty cases. We are against them everywhere in the world.
And Michelle, what does this signal for Michael Spavor, whose verdict is expected tonight?
Yeah, that's right. Around 9 o'clock tonight, 10 o'clock. So early morning in China. This is a warning shot from China. How far they are willing to go, certainly sending the signal as the trial moves forward for the extradition of Huawei CFO Meng Wanzhou. Now, remember that Spavor is accused of spying, but Canada has long said and maintained that the detention was arbitrary. They were kept. He has been kept in substandard conditions, and with the pandemic, Marcia hasn't really had access to very many consular visits. They've been virtual in most cases, I have to say, according to the readouts that we've seen so far. We don't exactly know what the decision is going to be for Spavor. Again, that's coming up, but then we're also waiting for a decision we're also waiting for a decision for the other Michael Kovrig. He was a Canadian diplomat. This is really important to remember. Canada hasn't received any indication. Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be next week? But this is, again, all as the trial for Meng Wanzhou is unfolding.
Michelle Boyer, thank you for that. I want to continue on now with my next guest, Margaret McQuaig-Johnson. She's a senior fellow at the University of Ottawa's Graduate School of Public and International Affairs. Good morning, Margaret. Good of you to be with us again. Let's start by getting your reaction to the rejection of Schellenberg's appeal. We know that appeals are very rarely successful in China. Your thoughts this morning?
That's right. They're rarely successful. And in fact, the rate of guilty decisions is 99.6% in China. So Robert Schellenberg really hasn't had much of a chance. We also note that Madame Meng, the Huawei executive, is on trial, not on trial, but going through her extradition agreement arrangement in the BC Supreme Court this week. And so these two cases are, it seems, directly tied to the Meng Wanzhou case. And that's very serious because Canada has called these cases arbitrary detention, and they are. China really doesn't respect the human rights of individuals, and arresting people and putting them through really fast trials, as has happened in these cases, is par for the course in China. This is a very high-profile case, so the Communist Party itself will be telling the judges what decision that they're supposed to make. And it's kind of interesting to see all of that in the context of China occasionally calling for respect for the human rights of Meng Wanzhou herself, human rights of her as an individual, when they don't respect human rights of those in China.
Okay. I want to ask you about Michael Spavor, but before we move on to him, because we're going to get his verdict Wednesday, with Schellenberg, where does his case go from here? What more can the Canadian government do for him at this point?
There is a review at their version of the Supreme Court. It's called the Supreme People's Court. And so that's a possibility. That can be a very fast review, or it could take 6 months to a year. So that's another possibility for him, really his last possibility. And, this is tracking Meng Wanzhou's case. So they're trying to put maximum pressure on the Canadian government to send her home. That could happen if she's found that she shouldn't be extradited in the BC Supreme Court process, or when it goes to the Minister of Justice after that process. He's got the final say as to whether she would go to the U.S. And there has been some behind-the-scenes discussions between Canada and the U.S. about the charges that she's facing in the U.S., but so far no indication that she will be let off of that. And in the meantime, Canadian public opinion about China has just completely plummeted. And it's going to be impossible, I think, to really recover the past positive views that Canadians have had of China.
Okay, as for Michael Kovrig, what does Schellenberg's case perhaps telegraph to you about what his verdict will be?
Well, Michael Spavor is in the court in Dandong on the border with North Korea. He's accused of stealing national secrets, but that's it. We don't know anything further. And his court case lasted only 2 hours, and the consular officials were not allowed into the room. This is against all of the international protocols for such cases. So Schellenberg's process is not encouraging for Michael Spavor. And so we would expect, I think, to see guilty and question as to when sentencing would come. And what that would be. And that, of course, also doesn't bode well for Michael Kovrig, who is a diplomat on leave. He can go back to working for the government of Canada. Again, very outrageous to be kidnapping and putting on trial a Canadian diplomat with no evidence whatsoever.
Margaret, given this scenario that you laid out just a moment ago about Meng Wanzhou, if she were to be extradited, if Canada were to allow her to leave the country, what do you think would happen to these 3 other men? How does it impact their fate, their lives, and how does China explain detaining them for the last few years? That's
a very, very difficult question because it would not be positive for their cases. That's why the family has been also putting pressure on the Canadian government to try to find a political or policy resolution. I don't want to think about that scenario of Meng going to the States, because that trial would be very serious both for Meng herself and Huawei as a corporation. These individuals have been treated as pawns, the Michaels and Robert Schellenberg. No evidence, real evidence against them to warrant what's been done to them over the last 2.5 years. It's very serious for each of them and for their families.
Margaret, thank you so much. We went along with you, and I really appreciate your time spent with us. Margaret McQuaig-Johnson is a senior fellow at the University of Ottawa's Graduate School of Public and International Affairs.